I've been thinking about.
Hey guys, it's Izzy and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about frustrating things when you have a disability, more specifically when you're an amputee, just because that's my disability. But yeah, I know we do a lot of videos like this just because I think they're quite informative and they're also quite funny, and you know I like making a joke about everything, so I just like doing these type of videos. And I feel like the normal average person doesn't realise that these things actually happen. Like, people get shocked when I'm like, oh, this happens. So yeah, I thought I'd give you a little delve in to some story times that have happened in my life and just things that make me go, really? Not surprisingly, I don't know, surprisingly, there are a lot. So let's get into this video. Now I've made a list, it's got 11 things on it, but the first one is the most frustrating. So I have been told before, and it is frustrating, that I'm too pretty to be disabled. Okay? Now, in case you didn't know, you don't just have to be ugly to have a disability. You don't just have to be old to have a disability. So saying I'm too pretty to be disabled, what? That literally doesn't mean anything. So I'll explain the story to you. So my mum was dropping me off in town. I was going to meet one of my friends, and I quite liked, whilst I'm sat in the car, to just text them, find out where they are before I get out and like go and find them, or even go inside, just because I find it easier to sit down and text and like get my phone out of my bag and stuff rather than stand up. So we're parked in a disabled space in like my town centre, and I think we had the last one, but my mum had put the badge up and we were just like, the blue badge, and we were just waiting for me to text my friend. Then this guy comes knocking on the window. He wanted our space and he was going, can you get out please? And Mum was like, oh yeah, like just give us a minute. Like, she was just waiting for me to get there and sort myself out before getting out of the car and move on, and then she'd be out of the space. So yeah, she was like, oh, just give us a sec. And he was like, well, you shouldn't be here. And we were like, yeah, we should. Like, we're just as entitled as you to be in this space. And he was so aggressive with his tone and how he handled this whole situation. So I got out of the car and like Mum helped me, because this was when my new legs were really new. So she just helped me up like the curb and stuff. And I made my way into town. Anyway, there's then like some lifts where you go up into the shopping centre. So I was waiting there and this man had caught up with me, because like I say, really new on these legs, still like super slow. And he goes, oh, sorry love, I didn't realise you were disabled. You're just too young and pretty. And I just felt like saying to him, just because your disability stems from old age does not mean that everyone does. You can be too and have a disability. You can be pretty and have a disability. As in, thanks for calling me pretty, but that doesn't really make me feel great, because why are you saying that, oh gosh, you should be ugly? Anyway, it's absolutely baffling, and I was trapped in this lift with this guy being like, literally like, you are so out of order. What the hell? And it wasn't until both me and my mum got like met back up that we discussed the situation and realised like how awful this man had been. But yeah, don't just assume someone's going to be old and ugly to have a disability. Disabilities don't discriminate, and neither should you. So this kind of links to the next one of being judged for having a blue badge. Let me tell you, I do not think there has ever been a time when I have used my blue badge. Obviously I don't currently drive, so this is with my mum, and me and my mum stick to the rules so well. She would never use it if I'm not in the car. She would never use it if I'm not getting out of the car. So if we're in a situation where we're both going to get out of the car, we park in a disabled space with our blue badge. That's what they're called in England, if anyone's confused. The amount of times people in the surrounding cars that are breaking the rules give me evils, looking at me dodgy, and I'm like, look, you're the one breaking the rule, because the rules in the UK are use the badge if the disabled person's getting out of the car. You're telling me you're going to have sent the disabled person in and left the able-bodied person in the car, not gonna have happened. So you're breaking the rules, so why are you looking at me dodgy? I'm perfectly entitled to that blue badge, same as you. I'm using it properly, you're not. Stop bullying me. And to the point where so many times my mum will go, oh Izzy, you just need to walk in front of this person's car, because they are being so judgy, and not to discriminate, it's always old people and they're judging me, and I'm like, look, I'm trying to live my life to the fullest. Yeah, my blue badge is going to help me do that. Don't judge me for using it. So that one is just so annoying. Okay, so the next one that is, this is frustrating, is walking out and about and just being stared at. And I am like okay with it, like it doesn't bother me, it's just annoying. Like, come on, you don't need to stare at me, and if you do want to stare at me, you've obviously got a question, you're obviously wondering something. Come and talk to me. Like, I would way rather people come and ask me questions, talk to me, than just staring at me, because I feel like uncomfortable when people are staring at me. Like, I'm walking out and people are just staring at me, and it makes you think like, oh, am I like accidentally flashing people? Like, did I remember to put all my clothes on? Like, it makes you a bit paranoid, and purely because you're thinking like, ah, but then I realise, oh wait, yeah, everyone just says to me, it's just all. So yeah, that one's like annoying, because I'm just like, look, if you really have a question, come and speak to me. I'd way rather you do that. Otherwise it's just weird. Like, stop staring at me, it's not that abnormal. Okay, so the next one happens quite a lot as well, and it is being told that something's too challenging. Now, the amount of times, and this is obviously a lot of the time with new people, that I'll just be like about to do something or talking about doing something, and they'll be like, oh gosh, that's way too hard, or oh, you can't do that. And I'm like, I would way rather you try and push me into doing something for me to then go, oh sorry, that's like quite challenging, rather than you just straight up be like, oh no, that's too challenging. Because if you say that to me, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna make me go, actually I'm gonna do it now. So you don't win. And it's just like, I know people are trying to be nice to me, and whenever I say things like this in my videos, you guys go, yeah, people are being nice, and I'm like, I know, but when you're on the receiving end of that, it's so frustrating. Like, don't be nice to me. I'd much rather you treat me like a normal person, even though I hate that word. Okay, so the next one has happened quite a few times in my life. I think every time it happens, it annoys me just as much, if not more. So this is being treated like a child / like I have a mental disability. I don't. My entire disability affected my limbs, so my disability is purely the fact that I had to have parts of my arms and legs amputated. However, people start treating me like I've got some sort of brain injury, which I just don't have. And it's like people see someone disabled and just think all of these things straight away, like, oh, they're going to be stupid, oh, they're going to be this, that, blah, blah, blah. Same with the, oh, they must be ugly and they must be odd. Frustrates me so much. Anyway, so yeah, the amount of times people like treat me like a child, and to the point where I have to go like, hi, I'm like a really intelligent person, like don't be thinking that I'm stupid, because I'm not. And I hate having to do that. Like, I'm not one to brag about how like academically able I am, because I know I'm not the most academically able. However, I am still over average when it comes to like grades and stuff. So don't be treating me like a baby, because it's just so demoralising for me, and it just makes you look stupid. So sorry. Okay, so the next one I'm going to touch on very lightly, because I could get into an hour debate about this. We're not even going to debate, because there shouldn't be another side to this story, but there clearly is. And that is being discriminated against, whether it's being hated on, being excluded, anything like that. I'm going to take this year as my mission to make more of an effort to fight for equal rights for people with disabilities, because I really don't think they're there. I don't get treated the same as everyone else, and it's only going to get harder when I go to try and find employment and other stuff like that. The level of respect from an able-bodied person to a disabled person is just not there on in a lot of cases. And yeah, nobody sees it as a problem. Everyone focuses on like sexism, racism, trying to think of any more isms. Everyone focuses on all of them, and don't get me wrong, I totally agree that equality for any types of group of people is really, really important. However, people are massively forgetting people with disabilities and all of these equality discussions, and being on the receiving end of hate and being excluded from a lot of situations. I am not having it anymore. I've had enough of it, to the point where I was on Twitter the other day and there is a video going around of a I think he's 9, little boy with a disability, and he was saying he had had enough of the bullying and it was making him not even want to live anymore. And under that video there were people commenting and just bullying him for how he looked. Why is that so important? That isn't the point of the video. The point of the video is that with a disability, it's basically impossible to live without being bullied at least once, because people just don't seem to be able to accept people that look different. It's a fact. Don't even start questioning me on it. So yeah, I think there really is lacking awareness. Not even awareness, it's, well, I guess awareness, yeah. There's no massive spokespeople for it, because no massive celebrities do have massive disabilities. Everyone fits the mould of greatness and disabled people aren't included. So hi everyone, I'm Isabelle and I'm going to fit that mould because I've had enough. So yeah, that's basically that one. I know that wasn't short after I said it was going to be short, but I have so much built up anger and frustration for this one that it needs more than just this video to help even begin to solve this major world problem. It's not even a little problem, it's a world problem. I am not the only person that experiences this and I'm totally aware of that. So yeah. Anyway, the next one is places that aren't accessible. Now, as an able-bodied person, you don't realise this, right? You don't go around places thinking, where's the lift, where's this, where's that. There are so many places, even still, that aren't accessible, or that you can only do certain sections of it, or blah, 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 blah. Even to the point, I couldn't go to my local secondary school because it wasn't accessible to me. Like, that's a school, so that's actually ridiculous. But yeah, a lot of buildings aren't. You wouldn't realise. There are all rules in place, however I don't know why not everywhere is disabled friendly, but yeah, does my head in. So that is just so frustrating to go somewhere and be like, sorry guys, can't. Next one is people giving me their help without asking. I've seen this a lot around the internet from other people with disabilities. When you're disabled, people think you're so vulnerable that you can't walk down the street without someone grabbing onto you and being like, are you okay? Not quite that dramatic, but doing a lot of activities, especially when I'm around new people, people think that they need to smother me in order for me to live my day-to-day life. I'm very independent. Some people aren't, but I way prefer if you ask if I need your help, and then I can ask, because if you smother me, I'm literally going to reject any help you give me because you're going to have annoyed me. That's the fact. Okay, the next one is assuming that all disabled people are the same. I feel like I've spoken about this before because it frustrates me. Not every disability is the same. Not every amputee is the same. Not every disabled person thinks the same. Not every disabled person likes the same things. It's just a fact. We're not all going to get on. We're not all the same. That's all you need to know. Okay, the next one is misplaced advice. Now, I've spoken about this one before. The amount of comments I get on my video from able-bodied people telling me, oh, have you done this? Have you tried this? What about this? What about this? Oh, I think you should do this. Have you done this? Firstly, look if I've done it before, commenting things. The amount of people I say, you should try prosthetic arms. I've made whole videos where I hate them, so no thank you. And yeah, just giving me advice, like, it's annoying. And I know people are going to be like, what? They're trying to help you. And I get that they are trying to help me, but if you've not experienced what I've experienced, you're quite unaware a lot of the time. And the last one, number 11, is gonna always irritate me, and that is being perceived as useless. Now you can argue this one as much as you like, saying no, we don't think you're useless, blah 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 blah, but the fact is, when it comes down to it, that is the view that I get given. That is why all of these things happen, or a lot of these things happen. I get treated badly sometimes because people just think I'm useless. People think that I'm not going to be intelligent and blah blah blah, and it's so frustrating trying to prove every day of your life that you're not, and that you're capable and blah blah blah, all of this, because you're living in a world where you are seen as useless. That is what you're seen as, and it's so frustrating trying to break that mold and go, actually, because nobody listens. So yeah, that is basically the end of my 11 points that are frustrating and things that happen in my life that do frustrate me. Let me know if you have a disability, if you've ever experienced any of these, or maybe any others that I hadn't thought of when I was making this list. I'd definitely be interested. I know I have had a lot of situations that really are just like, what the hell? But I would definitely say the one with the guy and the car and the lift, that is the weirdest by far. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, then make sure to like, comment,
I don't see fire in your music.
Hello. If you did enjoy this video, then make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I will definitely see you guys all in my next video. Bye!